live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Miq Strawn.
Hello, Dark Phoenix.
I have a feeling we might have a split on this.
Jean Grey begins to develop incredible powers that corrupt and turn her into a Dark Phoenix. What the hell is a Dark Phoenix?
Well, Dark...
Now the X-Men...
Rising
well, I know what a Phoenix is, but a Dark Phoenix?
Dark Phoenix?
Wouldn't that kind of be the opposite? Now the X-Men will have to decide if the life of a team member is worth more than the people in the world.
Okay, well, so...
Well, and that's all we have for tonight.
That's it. So I have to say there were things that I really enjoyed about this film, and that the trailer did not do it justice at all.
No, the trailer sucked.
The trailer was
really sucked.
You know, the trailer was.
Compared to the.
No, it did compared to the movie. The trailer had none of the. None of the descriptive aura of the movie at all. I mean, it was absolutely, the trailer was flat, and whoever did it needs to not do it again.
Yep.
Period.
I agree. The trailer should have just been all about her.
It should have been.
And the trailer wasn't. It was
but
mixed.
Yeah. The thing is her character really, to me, really carried this through. She was convincing. It was, and the effects were well separated this time. They were. There wasn't just a lot of inane explosions. They did some interesting stunts.
Did you notice that the Marvel movies are starting to kind of get more practical?
They're getting a little bit more practical. It looked more practical. I don't know if it was practical effects as much, but I have to
some
say
makeup effects though.
They did look better. Obviously, especially when we were looking at Jean's. Not only Jean, but Raven.
Yes.
Her I can't think of the name of the woman that plays her.
Lawrence.
Hunger Games.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Botox lady. Which, by the way, she should tone down the Botox, because women are supposed to. I think people are supposed to wrinkle. I don't like Botox.
You think? Yeah.
Okay. That's just my little opinion.
You know what?
I give Botox a 2 out of 5. 2 for effort.
Are we rating everything now? Seriously, are we rating everything?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's it. I mean,
2 for effort. I mean, they had good intentions. I mean, even though you're a poison, good intentions. But it just doesn't really.
It's the basis of modern medicine. We try and poison you.
Right. And
the closer we get, the better we are at what we do.
So I hated Braid Guy. That was my first thought.
Yeah, you know what?
The guy with the braids.
I know. And the funny thing about it is
people can't see that demonstration.
He was, that was a good demonstration. it was, considering that you have short white hair. Your imitation of his braids was amazing. I thought that it was really interesting, especially being as he's so lightly complected. There's something about it that's it's like that 70s hair gone wrong. It's when you had white guys that had
could have been a
dreads,
wig.
That's
could have been a wig or
it's
weave,
it's actually the ultimate extension of the white guy having dreads.
I like how you use the word extension. That's awesome.
Yeah, no. It's the extension of the extension.
But that's not my only complaint. I didn't like how, I don't know, just. So my question is, there were like 300 of these. Well, anyway, I don't want to give anything away. There was a whole bunch of things that
were after
just
us.
Kind of went away after something happened, and I know there were more. So
Yeah.
They
How
didn't
did we
explain how
actually kill? Because
the things went away.
we kept proving that they kind of had a coming back. They were very hard to.
So I know
kill.
at the end, I was expecting something happened, and then it was kind of wrapping up, but I was expecting more to kind of.
I liked it. I really did. I liked it because I thought that it even the battles and everything stayed close to the
battles
story,
were great,
and the battles were so interesting. The camera angles,
especially toward the end.
Yeah,
so Red was right at the theater,
and you know what? That was the thing that I thought was really interesting about it is there was definitely an acceleration of the pace.
The climax, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as it went going, it was well metered, and it just started to get frantic and more frantic and more frantic.
It was like a traditional action movie.
Yeah. It was.
But when I was walking in, Red told me, hey, I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
But this guy that has red hair.
Right.
He told me, oh, the battle scene is awesome. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
After I was walking out, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
he was right about that. He's
He was.
usually wrong. But this time he was right. Something bothers me, and I don't know if somebody could explain this to me, but why? I mean, you can see this in the trailers that some of the characters are younger versions of.
Right. This is interesting, and you know what it is it's because it is such a large universe. Marvel has so many that as we are replacing some of the actors, because
they even explain. A couple of them explained there were only a couple left.
Right. A couple of the old ones left of the first generation.
Yeah.
That's what they said. We're the two of the first generation
But
left.
the ones that were replacements were identical to the ones that they replaced. And like they could have changed the genders. They could have changed.
They could have changed
sexes. They could have changed race.
You have to think.
Like Storm could have been a white dude.
It's true.
Or a Chinese guy. I don't know.
But
something different.
You see, some of them are just straight away replaced. Like the leader, Xavier.
Yes.
He's just
Storm was pretty much a replacement.
When he said that, and like, when he said in here, I don't feel the same. And I was like, I was thinking, because you used to be Captain Picard. You're damn right you don't feel the same. You're a completely different person. I mean, completely different person.
You know, my retirement home idea works for this one, too.
Yeah, it does.
All the original actors could come back 10 years from now and do
there you go.
retirement home version of X-Men.
I have to say, as we were sitting and we were watching the credits go by, and I thought to myself, it says, we employed 15,000 people on the making of this film. And I thought, it's, as a production designer, remember I said, wow, I feel like I don't think that I could have kept this together. It just was too big. I mean, especially at the age that I am now. I
can see you pulling off. See, one thing that reminded me of your work was that set on the island with the things stacked on things.
Yeah, no, that's true. I have done a lot of that.
Kind of reminded me of something you would do.
Well, they're in something.
I was like, oh, look at that.
Thank you. You know what's funny is I saw that too. And I always look at, the thing is, you have this tendency to look at other builders, other production designers, and they can intimidate, and the thing is this all has to do with your budget and the concept and because I want to say that I can't imagine myself doing that, especially now at this age. But at the same time, if I was given the support, where it comes down to choices between this and that and the next thing, that I
think
could
some
definitely
of your
do.
movies you worked on, if you would have had a budget the size of this budget, you probably could have.
Literally, my budget on most of the movies that I did would not even equate to the amount of grapes that you would have in craft service.
You're probably right.
Probably right.
So you would have spent it all on that one island set.
Exactly. And I would, yes. Yeah. And I also you got a feeling that on this one that there was more practical sets, that they were I don't know if they were, but
some of the effects looked like with the train. I'm thinking there's some
some of the train stuff was great. looked like some of it could have been model making and stuff.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was good. It was good stuff. Effects look good. A lot of money in there. A lot of money.
Totally. The character, there wasn't really a lot of character development other than one character, really.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a nice arc to follow with her.
Well, yeah, but it was.
It's obvious what I'm talking about.
But it was. It was one of the one. It's what I thought. I've always thought that all of these do best is the focus on a single character.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes two when you bring in the other person that was involved.
Right. Sometimes two, but to have a single Bannister person, single, Dark Phoenix, and so the story has a heart, as opposed to like just the Avengers.
Yeah, where you try to follow five.
Where you're trying to follow, all these stories at once. I still enjoyed this. I still enjoyed this better than I enjoyed the last Avengers, and the last Avengers was the best of the Avengers.
And this was definitely better than the last X-Men, I think. But
you know what? And I want to circle back around to what you were talking about is how there's this mix of characters. That there's some of them have been replaced and some of them have been killed off, and they're going to come, they'll be replaced with other characters and so forth, and I just think that that's really cool. I mean, that you can have a universe like that, and I don't mean a universe, but I mean a storyteller's universe.
Well, I like the fact that speaking of universes, this is totally off what you were saying, but a little bit. But I like what they're doing with Spider-Man, the multiverse thing.
Right, exactly.
Because you can do anything you want with that, and so that's a kind of a storyteller's universe, obviously.
Exactly. Well, it's part of this. It's part of this universe.
This is staying within the confines of what they've already set up, just with different people.
Right. So
I do like one thing about this. It shows that even mutants can be human. That's one thing I got from this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
because even they make mistakes.
I think that they worked. I think that they worked around the Superman problem. The superhero that can do so much. Which to me is always a problem when we get into these. Xavier being you get that problem of one person being ultimately too powerful, and usually that seems to be what happens when they do these single Marvel world. Somebody has way too much enough power to be Superman, and you have to build your
story around.
You have to build your kryptonite in as best you can,
unless you're doing a bright burn and who knows what happens.
I don't know what the hell that's all about, Yeah.
Of course, that's not Marvel, but
but what is that, DC? Or is it just
I think it was the independent
one? Yeah, really?
I don't know who. We should have researched that.
It's got its own world.
Somebody talked about that one recently. I don't know what podcast that was.
Yeah, really. I heard it on a podcast.
Seems like they should have done their homework.
I heard it in my car on a podcast. Yeah, something about Brightburn. Those guys. Yeah, they didn't do much homework.
Not really.
Wow, that sounds like another podcast. No, it was. Oh my God, it was the same.
Here we are. Wow,
mind blown.
So I think I think this is good as a Marvel movie. I wouldn't put it at the top 3 or 5 probably.
Like
there's
I just
a lot
did.
of them.
Yeah.
There's a ton of Marvel movies out there.
Well.
I'd have to sit down and actually look at all the Marvel movies.
I would have to put it underneath.
I think I enjoyed
the
Iron
more
Man
comical ones.
Yes. Well, Iron Man's one of those. It's more comical.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the one that was specifically.
You're thinking, I know what you're talking about. Daredevil, probably then.
Yeah,
that's probably way up there.
Well, yeah, I'm up there with.
I did really like that Spider-Man one, the funky one, the animated one.
The animated one. That stands to me as probably one of the best out of the whole series. I mean, absolutely so enjoyable. And boy, didn't we get completely surprised, because we were both trashing that sucker as we walked in. Yeah.
Well, we were trashing this one beforehand too.
Yeah, we were.
This is the trailer.
Well, yeah, it's just.
I wasn't excited about this at all.
I know, me too.
Like, what movie are you here to see? I'm like,
yeah, I know, we were both that way.
How long is it? 2 hours? Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to put it at a 4.
Wow.
I know, and usually I'm not the one that likes these superhero things,
I'm at a good strong 3.5.
I mean, I felt all the way through it. I was
distracted a lot by
story.
some of the younger characters that I think weren't as strong as the previous people, but I was trying to get over it.
I agree with you there. I agree.
Wow.
But
that doesn't happen much.
But how much can I say when I know where we started with our Fantastic Four movie?
Story time. Story time. It's story time with Miq. 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 Story time with Miq.
That had a lot of charm to it, though.
It did. It did. It had.
People were trying really hard.
Spunk.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Especially the actors. They're really trying hard.
The
guy with the hands. Yes. Yeah.
Well, you know why we wound up doing why he wound up doing all this, because you couldn't see his face and nothing in the mask moved, right? Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even really see his eyes in the mask, so that the guy had to find a way to act, a way to like emote something. Yeah, so you
Channel silent movie days.
Well, we did try something different. We did try a light in his mouth, so the light would have given him the emoting angle.
Mm-hmm.
Just looked terrible. It looked like somebody had shoved a pin light through his skull and then threw a gel on it and then made it come out of his mouth hole.
Right.
It looked terrible. It really did. It was like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's
or light therapy for the teeth.
Yeah,
like where people lay down in the mall or
like
whatever.
That. Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It was unfortunate. Yeah, and the thing is, we didn't really have much time to really try a lot of stuff. I remember that we had and you talk about your stupid things that really get you, right? We had built this stone that was supposed to be the rock that the light would come through. It was the center of all the power, right?
Yeah.
And so we had built this rock, and basically we took a mold of a crystal. Now, why we took a mold, I have no idea, because I kept arguing with the prop guy. I was like, well, let's just get a rock, right? Let's just get a crystal. We'll get a huge crystal, and no, because it's what we do in the film business. We have to make stuff. We can't actually take a rock because we would recognize it as a rock.
Right.
So we make
be a rock.
An actual mold of the rock, and it goes with the Simpsons. You know what they said in the Simpsons? How you make a cow in Hollywood is made with a dog and two cats tied together.
Right.
So we were busy tying two dogs and a cat together to make that stone, and then it turned out that we couldn't. So we were going to light the stone, and so when we put a light underneath the stone, it didn't look like anything at all, And so then we ended up like cutting the stone in half so that when you laid it down, it would actually look like it glowed instead of looking
light from under it.
But instead of looking like it was just well lit, right? Which is really such a stupid thing, right? But when you're rolling along, we had no prep.
No budget, really.
We had no budget. We had no prep.
A rock would have been cheaper.
Well, here was the funny thing about it, though, is then we had to move the rock later on, and then what it really looked like we had actually gone out and got a crystal and just cut it in half because it was convenient. It looked like it was in half. I was like, oh man, there were just things that were just happening. You have to remember I think the whole freaking thing happened over a 5-week, it was a 5-week thing. That was it. So yeah, just amazing, complicated. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I went and built the models just because I knew that the effects guy was full of pure bull. Which absolutely everybody seems to be afraid of that. You know, I mean, the Doomed. I was talking to the guys who created Doomed, the story about the Fantastic Four, right? And
oh yeah,
and why they didn't get me to talk about it. It was just so weird, you know. It's like, oh, now they thought about it, you know. It's like when I got a hold of them, but I'm talking to them, and at the end, I just in my garage over the weekends, I built extensions for all the sets, and the shuttle that takes off, and I built the radar thing that comes up in space, and all of it. I built all of it, including the opening diopter for the ray to come out of the building. Right, I built all of it, and then took it back down with me to work over a couple of days, and literally then shot it at the end of the film in my own, and I directed those shots because everybody was like, don't worry about the special effects has got it. And I said, can't you tell that guy is an idiot and a scam? But nobody else talks about him now, you know, like, because maybe he went on to do something. I don't know.
Isn't that a lot of, I mean, that happens a lot, right? People BS their way through Hollywood.
Yeah, but you know what the funny thing about it is usually when you BS your way into something, you either actually achieve it.
Because you have a brain.
Right. Or you don't get to finish, which this guy didn't get to finish, let's be honest. But the thing is you have to remember, it's not like by the time it got to the end to where he was finished, everybody else had realized that we weren't really going to finish the film anyway, right? You know, and I was like, well, you know, that was why on the last day it was like, really.
But I built these models.
It was like, well, this is going to be critical. You're going to want to have this footage.
Yeah.
And and they did. So
well, there you go.
Well, there you go. Jinx.
Yes.
Anyway, I've rated the film. You've rated the film. We've gone down a rabbit hole, which, by the way,
yes.
I think by the time this comes out, rabbit hole will have already been the ads for the promo will be out. I have another podcast coming up.
Yes,
that's going to be called Rabbit Hole.
For some reason, I can picture a logo being like a top hat with a rabbit coming out of it. I don't know.
That's exactly what the logo is. Yeah. Wait until you see it tomorrow, and then you go, "Oh God!" you'll think to yourself, "Oh man, did you hit her on the nose?"
Or you're gonna be wearing a top hat while you do it, probably. I mean, yeah, that's likely.
Something.
Probably.
Anyway, yeah. That's one thing is we do want it to be video. We're gonna shift a little bit around, cool. Well, I think that we're gonna start audio and get to video within a month. You know, we're gonna try and get it down and get it dirty, and dirty. And you can come on anytime that you have
wants to see that.
Friday that you have Friday off down dirty. Anyway, so I think this is done.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.